The events of last Tuesday have sent shockwaves through the political landscape, and it's impossible to ignore the seismic shift that has occurred. Charlie Kirk, a prominent figure on the right, was accosted at a Turning Point USA event. While the details are still emerging, what's clear is that the incident has ignited a firestorm of debate, further deepening the already chasm-like divide between the left and the right. On one side, many on the right are framing this as a direct attack on free speech and a symptom of a radicalized left that is willing to resort to violence to silence opposing viewpoints. They point to the fact that Kirk was there to speak, to engage in dialogue, and that this confrontation was an attempt to shut that down through intimidation and aggression. There's a strong narrative emerging that this is not an isolated incident, but rather part of a broader trend of intolerance and hostility from the left towards conservative voices. Social media is rife with outrage, with many calling for accountability and expressing fear for the safety of public figures who hold differing opinions. The immediate reaction has been a rallying cry for unity within the conservative movement, a sense of us against them that has been amplified by this incident. Conversely, many on the left are viewing the situation through a different lens. Some are downplaying the severity of the incident, characterizing it as a minor disturbance or even a planned provocation. Others are more directly critical, arguing that while violence is never acceptable, Kirk's own rhetoric and the positions he advocates for are harmful and contribute to a climate of division. There's a sentiment that this reaction, however misguided, stems from frustration with what they perceive as dangerous ideologies being promoted. Some are even suggesting that the outrage from the right is performative, an attempt to gain political mileage from a situation that they believe was exaggerated or even manufactured. The discussion on the left is more fragmented, with various factions offering differing interpretations and solutions. But a common thread is a distrust of Kirk's platform and a concern that the incident is being used to further demonize the left. The impact of this event is multifaceted. Firstly, it has undoubtedly energized both sides of the political spectrum. For the right, it's a clear illustration of what they see as the dangers of unchecked progressive activism, solidifying their resolve and potentially mobilizing voters. For the left, depending on their interpretation, it could serve as a wake-up call to the potential consequences of their actions, or conversely, as further evidence of the need to confront what they see as harmful ideologies. Secondly, it has made dialogue incredibly difficult. When one side views an event as an attack on fundamental freedoms and the other sees it as a justified reaction to harmful rhetoric, finding common ground becomes an almost insurmountable task. The media coverage itself has often reflected these existing divides, with different outlets framing the story in ways that appeal to their respective audiences. This creates echo chambers where individuals are less likely to encounter opposing viewpoints and more likely to have their existing beliefs reinforced. Thirdly, there's a palpable sense of fear and apprehension. Public figures on both sides are likely to be more cautious about engaging in public events, fearing similar confrontations. This could lead to a chilling effect on free speech, as individuals may self-censor to avoid becoming targets. The very act of engaging in public discourse, which is essential for a healthy democracy, is becoming increasingly fraught with risk. Looking ahead, it's difficult to predict the long-term consequences. Will this incident be a catalyst for a more thoughtful approach to political engagement? A realization that such confrontations are counterproductive? Or will it further entrench existing divisions, leading to an even more polarized and hostile political environment? The answer likely lies in how both the left and the right choose to respond in the coming days and weeks. Will they choose to engage in constructive dialogue? Or will they retreat further into their respective camps, armed with the narrative of victimhood or righteous indignation? The future of political discourse in this country may well depend on it.